Okay, so this is going to be a recap of the Fani Willis disqualification hearing and why we are here. So, for those of you who don't know, Fani Willis is the district attorney of Fulton County in Georgia. Now, she has indicted former President Donald Trump and 19 others in the election interference case from that state. Now, because the case had so many defendants and was very complex, Fani Willis hired what's known as special counsels to help assist her in prosecuting all of these people. Now, a special counsel or special prosecutor is essentially an attorney that is from the local area that assists the district attorney in prosecuting one specific case. Now, after that prosecution is over, then the special counsel or special prosecutor loses all authority to prosecute anybody and goes back into private practice. So now, what's the problem? Well, the elected DA, Fani Willis, was alleged to be having a sexual relationship with the man that she hired as a special prosecutor. His name is Nathan Wade. Now, the person who brought all of this to light was an attorney named Ashley Merchant. Now, she was representing Michael Roman, one of the 19 co-defendants in the election interference case. Now, where did Ashley Merchant get this information? She received this information from a man named Terrence Bradley. Now, Terrence Bradley was a former partner with Nathan Wade at a law firm. He also represented Nathan Wade as his attorney in his divorce from his wife. Now, Terrence Bradley contacted Ashley Merchant, telling her about an alleged affair between Fani Willis and Nathan Wade during his marriage.
You initially became involved in this matter because you called me, right?
Absolutely not.
I didn't call you.
No, it was through a third party.
You read an article that was on September 11th discussing how much you and Mr. Wade were handling me, correct?
That is correct.
And you called me that same day and left me a voicemail on my cell phone asking me to call you back.
I do not recall that, but I do not recall that.
You don't recall that?
I do not.
So it's possible that happened.
I do not recall calling you after the article came out.
Take a look at that and just verify if that's your number and your cell phone.
That is my number and my cell phone.
Okay, and is that also your email address?
That is my email address.
Okay, great.
He also told Ashley Merchant about trips and all of these things that both Wade and Willis were doing together and where to find information confirming this relationship.
What I have is a text message from you saying, "Oh my God, Nathan took Fani on a trip to Napa and paid for it with his firm."
Okay, continue reading.
And you said, "Is he that dumb?"
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Wow, I'm on a plane from Dubai, land at 3. We'll call you as soon as I land."
So that is accurate. That's what you told me.
That I will call you as soon as I land, and wow?
Yes.
Yes, that is accurate.
And then you told me that you weren't surprised because they took many trips to Florida, Texas, and California.
It does not. I mean, I see what's on the text chain, but
I sent you a statement and said, upon information and belief, Willis and Wade met while both were serving as a magistrate judge and began a romantic relationship at that time. And you corrected me and say, no, it was in municipal court. Is that correct?
I think that's pretty accurate.
So, as you can see, it was Nathan Wade's former business partner who leaked all this information to the defendants so they can file this motion to disqualify Fani Willis. Now, one thing I want to point out is how the media is covering this hearing. So this is ground news, and we're looking at the Fani Willis disqualification story, and watch the way both the left-wing media and the right-wing media describe the story. So check this out. Let's go down here and look how the left-wing sources are describing the Fani Willis hearing. Trump rages at Fani Willis after defiant day of testimony fending off Trump team lawyers. Let's look at how they are saying it on the right. Here's the blaze. Fani Willis' old friend strikes damning blow to Democratic DA's preferred narrative during misconduct hearing. The same story described in vastly different ways. As you can see, the problem isn't the story, it's the bias in reporting the story. Now, this is why I use Ground News. Ground News gathers articles from all over the web. They do this so you can see what stories are being covered, but more importantly, which stories aren't being covered. And this takes me to my favorite feature, the blind spot, where you can see which stories are not being covered by the right side and which stories are not being covered by the left wing. Now, I wanted to make this extremely easy for you, so just go to the pinned comment or the description and click the link ground.news/Nate, ground.news/Nate, and you're gonna get 40% off unlimited access this month. So if you wanna stay fully informed, click that link and make it happen. This whole court proceeding is really about one simple question: whether Fani Willis, the sitting district attorney for Fulton County, received any financial benefit from her prosecution of the defendants in this case. So the defendants are alleging that Fani Willis essentially hired her boyfriend, who was underqualified for this job. Now, when she hired him, she then paid him $500,000 to prosecute former President Trump and the 19 co-defendants. Now, after Fani Willis signed off on Wade getting that money, she essentially got some of those funds in the form of lavish trips and gifts from Wade. Now, if the defendants are able to prove these allegations are true, it would show that Fani Willis received some type of financial benefit in the form of these kickbacks from her prosecution of Donald Trump through Nathan Wade. And that would be enough to disqualify her from prosecuting Donald Trump and the 19 co-defendants in this case. So then after these allegations hit the news, Fani Willis and Nathan Wade both responded to these allegations in court filings, claiming two things. Number one, that their romantic relationship didn't start until after Wade was hired as special counsel in the election interference case, and that number two, that Fani Willis had paid back Wade for all trips and gifts, meaning that there was no way she could have financially benefited from this relationship. So now the defendants responded to those claims from Fani Willis and Nathan Wade. The first, they claimed that Wade and Willis were lying about when the relationship initially started. See, Wade and Willis said the relationship started in 2022. But there was a witness, Fani Willis's former best friend, one that she actually moved in with. She claimed that Fani Willis and Nathan Wade had a relationship prior to 2022. Matter of fact, she says the relationship started 3 years earlier in 2019.
Reporter, hear me okay? Ma'am, let me be very specific. Did you talk with Miss Willis about her romantic relationship with Mr. Wade?
Yes.
Did Miss Willis tell you on more than one occasion that she was engaged in a romantic relationship with Mr. Wade prior to you leaving the district attorney's office?
Did she tell me or did I observe?
I'm straight right now with the tell me.
Yes.
Did she tell you that in the year of 2020?
Yes.
In the year of 2021?
Yes.
Are you certain that Miss Willis told you about the romantic relationship with Mr. Wade prior to November 1st of 2021?
Yes.
Now, did you also have observations of Mr. Wade and Miss Willis together prior to November 1st of 2021?
Yes.
And are those observations, were those in a social setting?
Yes.
And did you observe them do things that are common among people having a romantic relationship?
Yes.
Such as, can you give us an example?
Hugging, kissing, just affection.
All before November 1st of 2021, correct?
Yes.
That's all I have.
Now, this testimony was so damaging to Fani and Nathan Wade that MSNBC, who is pro Fani Willis, even had to admit that Fani Willis has a problem.
This is epic. This is monumental. If things are going in the direction we think, Fani Willis lied to the court, it's game over for her. She will be disqualified. If they had a relationship prior to when they represented to the court, it's a huge deal. I can't overstate it.
So now understand where we're at. We got Wade, who now has said under oath that this relationship with Willis started in 2022. And you also have Fani Willis, who's saying the relationship started in 2022. But we also have two other people who have testified under oath, under the penalty of perjury, that what Wade and Willis are saying is not true. They're lies. For instance, Robert Ure, who you just heard, says the relationship started in 2019 and they had a relationship in 2020 and early 2021. And also Wade's business partner, he's also claiming that the relationship started before 2022. So someone is not telling the truth. Now, the truth is, even if they had a relationship, that really doesn't win the day for the defendants because, yes, people in the DA's office can sleep together and that won't affect the case outright. But did Fani Willis benefit from this prosecution by going on elaborate trips with Nathan Wade paid for by the taxpayers? Now, Fani Willis and Nathan Wade says that did not happen. They said that Nathan Wade did pay for all this stuff, but he was reimbursed by Fani Willis.
All I needed. You said in the affidavit that you roughly shared travel though, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this roughly sharing travel, you're saying she reimbursed you.
She did.
And where did you deposit the money she reimbursed you?
It was cash. She didn't give me checks.
So she paid you cash for her share of all these vacations.
Mr. Schaefer, you'll step out if you do that again.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so all of the vacations that she took, she paid you cash for.
Yes, ma'am.
And you purchased all of these vacations on your business credit card, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So you have no proof of any reimbursement for any of these things because it was all cash, right?
The testimony of one witness is enough to prove a fact.
So my
Are you
question was,
telling
do
me
you
that
have
I'm
any
lying to you? Is
proof?
that what you're intimating right here?
I'm asking if you have any proof that you paid him any of these
The
monies.
proof is what I just told you.
You have no written proof. Is that correct?
So I have some, probably some transactions like in Belize. I probably spent $500 on my card in Belize. I spent 900 bucks on each of our tickets to go to Belize. I did the $700. I probably got some minor expenses in Aruba that would be on a card. But for the most part, for those trips, other than, so the 2 cruises, I gave him money for those before we ever left because they were pre-booked. Let me answer.
Well, the question was if you had any written proof. And so
I've answered you that I've had written
and we
proof.
can move to the next question. If you've answered if you had any written proof, and that was my question.
I want to make sure that we're clear that for the 2 cruises,
Judge,
and that's
I
the
asked if
cruise
she gave
plus
him written
Aruba.
proof.
We're not going to talk over each other.
Okay, so now we're at the end of the video, and there are 2 things that we need to wrap up. Number 1, who do you believe? Now, either you believe Nathan Wade and Fani Willis when they said their relationship started in 2022 after he was hired with the DA's office, or you believe the witnesses, her best friend and Nathan Wade's business partner, who says the relationship started before 2022. And then second, do you believe that Fani Willis paid Nathan Wade back for all of those trips? We're talking about cruises. We're talking about trips across the country. We're talking about trips to Belize. And remember, with the caveat that she paid him back in cash, only in cash. There is no record of her reimbursing him other than cash. There's no bank receipts, there's no records, there's no even records of her taking the cash out of the bank. There's no records of him putting the cash into the bank. So, this is now all about credibility. Do you believe the sitting DA and her top prosecutor? Or do you believe the witnesses who say that they are not telling the truth? Now, if Fani Willis is disqualified, this case will likely go to another district attorney's office, and that DA will be able to make the determination if they're going to continue on with this case. That DA can say, hey, I'm dropping this case with prejudice. President Trump did nothing wrong. So the stakes are extremely high whether this case stays in Fulton County under Fani Willis or it goes to another county. But let me know what you feel in the comments section. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe, do like great YouTube stuff. And my name is Nathan Lawyer, and I'll see you next time.